Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. I trust that you guys are fantastic and awesome and bringing Friday on in with coffee or champagne or whatever it is that you're doing. But most of all, I trust that you've had a really amazing week and you are ready to bring it on home in a really excellent and amazing way. Now, I launched the pre-work last night for Bold, and what was really interesting was on there, not so much about the pre-work, like it was fun. We had, hey Tamara, we had video bombing by my dog, my daughter. I almost burnt dinner. I thought I had burnt dinner. I'd been super efficient and we have this, my mum used to make it, it's called Mexicana, and so it's this kind of like concoction of capsicum, tomatoes, zucchini, carrot, and onion, and it all kind of gets all cooked up and then mushed up like a, almost like a soup, but not, sounds really gross when I say it out loud. It's almost like this beautiful, rich, tomato-y kind of sauce, and then we have that on top of fettuccine with a little bit of cream or Greek yogurt and then some cheese on top, and we grill it off in the oven, and oh my God, it is to die for. But anyway, this sauce, not that I usually eat the pasta, though I couldn't resist last night for the first time in forever. That while I was doing the Bold pre-work last night, I said to my daughter, I'm like, oh, quick, can you stir it? And she's like trying to scrape it off the bottom of the saucepan. But anyway, I didn't come to talk to you about dinner. I came to talk to you about what happened while I was delivering the pre-work last night. And now, completely unashamedly, very bold plug, of course. What I wanted to share with you is, like, just to make mention of it. So Bold is going live next Friday, but we've had pre-work go live. So I've got that in there. If you need to know more about it, let me know. But that's not really what I want to be banging on about today. Although there are a few things that I have seen. Hey, Bonnie, and I'm feeling I'm feeling particularly opinionated about some things. So last night, I was doing the pre-work and that was all great, and we were putting up some journal prompts, and I've been getting a lot more friend requests recently to the tune of, oh golly, like I don't know, many every day, and some I'll accept and some I don't. The ones that I don't accept, it's really interesting, are the ones that are, the flags are usually, I was feeling a bit bad and a bit sexist about this, and I wasn't quite sure if I was going to share it, but I think I will, because it's just kind of the reality, and I think it's some of the things that we face on a daily basis, and I thought this is interesting. So I get a lot of friend requests, particularly from men, and I find this interesting just because I think it's just kind of interesting. But the thing that really kind of grinds my gears is when before I accept a friend request, I will go and have a look at the mutual friends. And if we don't have mutual friends, unless I know, like maybe it's someone who I've been interviewed by or something like that, that's fine. We don't have to have mutual friends in that instance. But generally speaking, it's like I'll go and have a look at the mutual friends. And if all of the mutual friends are like, how you get the 6 or the 9 in that little square, and you can go, yep, or no. If I see that they're all kind of attractive blonde women, I'm just like, no, they're a blonde collector, not interested. Bang, delete. I don't understand why they do this. I just don't get it. And it just it irritates me that I have to go through a culling process in order to kind of sort through all this stuff. And then some of the people that comment on here, like there was a guy, and this shits me, is a guy whose profile photo is with his wife and children, and you get these messages that are like, hey sexy, hey gorgeous, rah rah rah. And so that's the first little flag. And then you go over and you have a look at the profile, and like all the photos are with his wife and children, and there's this commentary around it. I'm like, you fucking sleazy son of a bitch. It irritates the crap out of me that people think that it's okay to do that. I just think that it's wrong on every level. Anyway, so that's one thing that happened. But one of the things that happened last night, we do so need a vomit emoji, Tamara. I think you had a stalker in the live the other day. Yeah, he was a bit interesting. It's just, I just ignore it. Like, for the most part, I just ignore it. And this guy that, like, with all the family and the things and the kids and the stuff, it's just like, you know, dude, go to fucking Tinder. Like, you don't need to go and troll my Facebook page. Anyway, that's that. It's not actually really what I wanted to rant about today, but it is one thing that's pissed me off. And I don't think there's any way to combat it. You know, I don't think there's any way other than just kind of like going, yeah, you're an idiot, you know, block and delete or just ignore, which is what I normally do. It's like, dude, what the heck? I mean, I have no problem with guys who are interested in the messaging, right? Or maybe looking to work with me, but not like this is not a freaking hookup site, for God's sake. Anyway, that's that. Maybe if I was interested in that, it would be a great strategy, but it's not, and I'm not. So no. Anyway, okay. So the other thing that pisses me off is when we get these friend requests that come through and you've got mutual friends and you go and have a look and it's like, yep, this person seems legit and I'll accept their friend request. And then literally within the space of maybe 2 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes, you get the freaking invitation to like their damn page. Now, I don't know who the hell is teaching this as a strategy, but they need to freaking stop it because it's rude and it's obnoxious and it is poor form. It's like going to a networking event, exchanging business cards, say that you and I were at a networking event just because you commented last. Let's pretend that we hadn't met each other for a moment. And I'm like, oh, Jess, have you got your business card? It's really awesome to be connected. And then I take it and then I give you mine. And then I go home and I add you to my email list. And then I go home and then I add you as my friend. And then I add you to my group. And then I invite you to like my page. It's like, no. If you've been doing this, hey, Ainsley, if you've been doing this, I'm really sorry, but you need to stop it. It is freaking rude and I hate it. And I think there are better ways of you growing your business and of you growing your profile. And again, whoever is teaching it needs to freaking stop it because it is rude and spammy and smarmy and icky and everything else. Like, rather than doing that, why not? And, you know, like I had an invitation again, like another one this morning. It said, hey, I'm inviting you to like my page because I thought you might be interested in following it. No, if I was interested in following it, I probably would have gone and sought you out or seen something in the newsfeed. I don't know if that was good English. I might have seen something in the newsfeed where I'm like, yeah, I really like that, you know, bang. Or look at adding value. So I want to come over and look at your damn page, not because you're trying to build up the freaking likers. It's just shit. And the other thing about that is that the volume of likers on your page doesn't even matter anyway. And instead of doing that, go out and buy some freaking likes. Go out and, you know, put out a Facebook ad and spend maybe $10 a day and advertise it to all. And I don't do this, right? Don't do this, but this is the alternative. If you're having trouble growing your fan page, growing the fans on your page, and, you know, maybe you're looking at getting to over 200 because you want the vanity URL and, you know, blah, 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 all that stuff, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Hey, Joe, mid-rant. So if you're looking at that, go and buy some freaking likes. Go and do the rent-a-crowd thing and advertise it to everywhere. You'll get people from Bulgaria, you'll get people from India, you'll get people from China, or maybe not China because I don't think they're allowed social media. You'll get people from the UK, you'll get people from Europe, you'll get people from New Zealand, you'll get people from everywhere. Just put it, like, spread that shit all over the world. Get the 200 likes and leave the rest of us the frog alone so that we can do the thing that we're here to do. So that when we do see your ad going up offering some kind of value, or we see your live stream, or a friend has followed it and they're like, hey, you've got to come out and check this. Like, this is really awesome. This is really amazing. Then we can essentially vote with our feet. Because the volume of likes makes no freaking difference on your business page other than that vanity URL. It actually doesn't do anything really in terms of your credibility, your ability to be able to put your message out there. Now, let me clarify that. Because if you don't have an audience, then what the heck are you supposed to do? Well, this is where the advertising part comes in, and look at giving something away for free and in exchange for their name and email address, a person's name and email address. And then that way you're getting them onto your email list. You can start building up your email list. And actually, as a side benefit, what happens is the people who see that, they will often click like on your page anyway. And then they're clicking on something and liking something and looking at something they're actually interested in, versus you just, it's like walking into a mall and you throwing, if you work for Baker's Delight and you're offering free bread samples, and instead of asking people if they want it, you're just throwing bread at everybody. Like, buy my bread, taste my bread. No, I don't want your freaking bread. I'm paleo. I'm on a low carb keto diet. I don't do bread. Keep your bread to yourself. Jess, shit likes ruin your reach anyway. Exactly. Because what Facebook is going to do is they're going to put your message, your posts, your stuff, they're going to put your stuff out in front of people that are more likely to not necessarily visibly engage in terms of clicking like, comment, share, but people who are going to look and read your stuff. One of the ladies that's in Bold, actually, I was chatting with her, I think yesterday or the day before. And one of the things that I said to her, I said, I haven't seen your name pop up on my page for a while. It's only feels like maybe it's popped up again in the last maybe 6 to 8 weeks. And she said, oh, no, I've been stalking you all year. and for all of the years, actually, because she's been around since maybe 2015, I think. And I said, oh, really? Like, I actually haven't seen. Hey, Sherry. So nice to see you. I haven't seen her comment. I haven't seen the notification of a like, and she hasn't shared anything all year. But she said, no, I've been looking at everything. And I think this is the thing that we've got to remember as business owners, as marketers, and as highly intelligent people, is that just because we don't see the evidence of something, it doesn't mean that other things aren't going on in the background. It doesn't mean that you're not being seen. It doesn't mean that you're not being heard. It doesn't mean that you're not being visible. It does not mean that you're being ignored, right? It just means that for whatever reason, that person who could be reading every single thing that you're putting out there is just not willing for the whole rest of the world to see what it is that you're doing. So just bear that in mind somewhere along the way. What else? Oh, the other thing that I wanted to rant a little bit on today. So Jess, I watch every live, but not always here to comment and interact. Exactly, right? So, and this is like exactly the case in point here. So it's not about the volume of likers. It's about what you do with them that really matters. Now, there was a post that I saw go up yesterday by someone, a gentleman in the industry, who is got quite a big following, and he was saying about the do's and don'ts of social media. And did you know that apparently his advice is to only post once a day on Facebook, because, you don't want to annoy your people. I'm like, what? How the heck am I going to get all of my words out? How on earth am I going to get everything out that needs to be said, shared, delivered upon, working my magic, doing the thing that I do, motivating, inspiring, whatever, if I'm only putting up one post a day? Here's the thing that happens. If you only put up one post a day and your people don't come to Facebook very often, or they don't have you as a see first person in their news feed, and we know that algorithms change all the time, blah blah. I'm not even having a conversation about that, because it's a bunch of fear-mongering hogwash. Well, it's actually true, they do change their algorithm, but if you keep consistent and if you do what you do, then it's actually not going to affect. The only thing it's going to affect is your organic reach, but people know where to come back and find you, so you'll be okay, right? This is almost like algorithm-proof marketing and visibility. So this guy is like, if you're going to be successful in social media, then only post once a day. I'm like, dude, what the heck? No, that's ridiculous. The other thing that I saw a visibility coach put up a post Can't remember when it was. It may have been today. It might have been yesterday. I'm not sure when the post actually went live. Bonnie, I don't care how much you post. Lol, I love your stuff. Thank you. It's lucky, isn't it? Because I have a lot to say all the time. And you can pick and choose then, right? You can pick and choose what you're going to read, what you're going to watch, what you're going to spend more time absorbing and whatever else. And I'm not going to make you just read one post of mine a day, right? I want to give you guys some variety. I want to give you a different experience, ideally, with each post that gets put up. Because one thing that might move you is not necessarily the same thing that's going to move Jess, which is not the same thing that's going to move Tamara, which is not the same thing that's going to move Ainsley, that's not the same thing that's going to move Tamara, that's not the same thing that's going to move like freaking anybody, right? So like how funny to consider that like just one post a day is going to move all of the people who are interested, maybe even, or maybe getting interested or getting to learn to know you, maybe they don't even like you yet. And if you go and put one thing up, just one thing, and they're like, yeah, that's a bit shit. Like you've just kind of lost any opportunity of creating that connection. So I think that's crap. But anyway, this other person that I saw post, she said, she hasn't been on social media for a little bit, and she said that the problem is that social media is so overwhelming. And she said, yes, I know, I'm a visibility expert. And essentially, she's like, it was words to the effect of everybody is overwhelmed on social media, and nobody has the time nor the inclination to read all the long posts. They don't have all the time nor the inclination to watch all of the videos. They don't have all the time nor the inclination to do X, Y, Z. And I'm like, wait, what? And so I was thinking about it. I was like, it got me thinking. And I like this because I like reading other people's opinions on different things. And this is why some people will absolutely identify with her, and some people will identify with him, and some people will identify with me, and some people will identify with other people, right? This is the beauty of living in a world where we are able to share our opinions, our thoughts, our methodologies, and the reasons why we think, feel, and believe these things. And I want you to think about how this applies to you in your business as well, right? Because this is really why we're talking about it. It's not really about me and my beliefs. It's about it is, but it's about how you then apply this into your business and marketing and social media and visibility strategies so you can get out there, be seen, and get clients, right? So, I guess this is where, to me, it's like, it's not about the length of your fucking post. It is not about how many minutes you speak on your live stream for. It is not about how long your blog is or how short your blog is, or even really about the pose that you're doing in your photo. It's not about that. And this is where it makes me kind of scratch my head, not at the moment because my hair's pulled back tight, but it makes me scratch my head and go, you're advocating for visibility, but you're already kind of cutting out like it can be, not for everybody, but can be a really great way of communicating. And it's not actually about the length, the size, the width, the depth, the breadth. Like it's not about any of that. It's about the energy that goes into it. I mean, shit. If we think about, hey Shona, so good to see you. Happy Friday. If you think about the rock stars, right? And let's use Queen as a really fucking badass example. If they had listened to the people who knew what they were talking about, Bohemian Rhapsody would never, if the movie is true, it would never have been heard on our radios. It never would have been played because it's like, well, that's too long. Nobody's going to listen to that. Your music needs to be at least, between 3 minutes and 3.5 minutes. Otherwise, people are going to tune out. The radio stations won't play it and blah, 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 blah. And they've gone, no, sorry, fuck you. We're going to do it our way, and this is what we're going to do. Again, the caveat there is that we assume that what they put in the movie is true. So there's that. And yet we've got other things. Have you ever looked at the actual lyrics to a song. And I mean, we're living in a day and age where we don't have the cassettes opening up anymore, you know, with the words on the, do you guys remember that? How whenever, it didn't seem to happen when you bought a vinyl album. I still remember buying vinyl albums, but rather when you bought a cassette, the way that they were all folded in and you'd have the words to all of the songs, right? And some of them were really long. If you go and have a look at the words to Shallow, if you like that, the Lady Gaga song and Brad Cooper, go and have a look at that. If you have a look at the lyrics to Courage, the latest Pink song, which is really fucking awesome, and I heard it and I was just like, oh man, I need to have a look at the lyrics. There's like 3 verses and most of the things that they sing in these segments are the same. Right? So, and yet they're still beautiful. The sound still resonates, that they make us still feel something. So it's not about the length. It's not about anything to do with that. It's about the energy that you put in. And this is the thing that really fucking shits me, because for some of you, you are going to need all of the airtime. You're going to need to spend all of the words. You're going to need a freaking hour to do a live stream. Some of you are only going to need 5 minutes, and that's okay. You know, who decided that the rule was you have to do all short posts, or that you have to do all long posts, or whatever it is? And the other thing that really pissed me off about this thing as well was she talked about the veiled and sometimes not veiled sales posts, call to action posts. I have a question to ask you. Since when did it become bad or wrong or shameful for selling? When did that happen? When did it become a bad thing to ask for money in exchange for something that you want to sell? When did it come bad? Like I bought a jacket the other day and it came in, it arrived yesterday, and it's awesome, it's really great, and I'm like, I don't think the shop felt bad about saying, hey, if you like this jacket, you can totally buy it. There was no shame in that. So why the hell is it okay? And this happens, like I see this happen a lot, where it's like, you know, you can't sell with every post. Well, why not? If you've added value, if you've built up some kind of rapport with your people in 5 minutes or 50 or you know, 5 hours, however long, whether it's a word count, whether it's a time count, whatever it is, why is it so goddamn wrong for you to ask for money in exchange for your services? Now, I don't actually think that there is, think about when you walk into a store and you try something on and you feel good. Isn't that when you want to part with your money? Like when you're feeling good, when you think you're looking good, when you're like, yeah, this is pretty hot. You know, I'm really good with this. You don't want to then walk out and go, oh, you know, rah, 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 and then have to rethink about going back in. Like, it would be silly of a person in a store to not say, would you like to take that home with you today? Or would you like me to package that up for you? Or would you like me to hold that behind the counter while you go and have a look through the rest of the store? And I think the thing that happens here, and I see this really prevalent in the services industry, particularly for coaches, mentors, trainers, consultants, authors, artists, healers, people like spiritual advisors, yoga people, like all of those, you know, not IT professionals. You know, it's more in this industry where we're selling ourselves, right? We're selling our knowledge, we're selling our services, we're selling our information products, we're selling stuff like this. You know, I don't know why it's so bad for us to be able to sell. So what I want you to do is I really, really, really want you to be okay with boldly asking for the sale. If you really wholeheartedly, and you have to, if you really wholeheartedly believe in what you're selling, if you wholeheartedly believe that the people out there need your stuff, like I know that you guys need bold, I know it's going to change your marketing, I know it's going to enhance your creativity, I know it's going to make you visible, stand out, have courage to launch, to really ride that wave of loving the heck out of what you're doing and building some theming around it so that you can be seen as a fucking rock star in your industry, I know that it will be the most transformational program that you could go through. You know, if I don't believe that, then I don't have any fucking business selling it, just quietly. So you've got to be able to really wholeheartedly believe in what you're doing. And if you do, then it's almost shameful to not sell it. It's shameful to not put a call to action on your Facebook Lives. It's sacrilege to hold it back from the people who really need it if you believe and if you know that it is going to be helpful. So it just shits me. It really does. And I think you get that. Because I know how much this business means to you. I know how much that your hot coal clients mean to you. You know, those clients that you'd walk over hot coals for, if you haven't heard me say that term before. I know how important it is for you to work your magic, for you to do the stuff that you're really here to do, for you to feel like you're living a really inspired, fulfilled life where you're able to work your genius and work your gifts. And I think anybody who tells you that you should sell less has their own sales shit that they actually need to work through. If someone says to you that you need to market less, they have their own marketing shit that they need to work through. If somebody tells you to be messaging less or to use less words or to use more words or to do like anything other than sharing what it is that you need to be sharing, then I just think it's a crock of shit. I really do. And I think it's more about them and them imposing their beliefs and way of doing things rather than you being able to trust in your own intuition, your gut instinct and stuff like that. I mean, it might sound a bit contradictory, but to me, it's like, well, I'm not going to say to you that you need to go and write a blog that's at least 3,000 words. I'm also not going to tell you to write a blog that's 500 words. I'm going to say to you, yes, you need to blog. That is my belief. And I've seen it work. And I know that that's one of the things that's going to help you be seen, be visible, stand out, and get your message out there. But I will say to you, when you ask me, Nicola, how long should my blog be? I'm going to say, dude, as long as it needs to be for you to be able to get your message out there. If you say to me, how long do I need to do my live streams for? The answer is every time going to be as long as you need in order to get your message out there. I will say, ideally make it 10 minutes if you can, because then Facebook does this algorithmic push out to the other people who haven't joined and watched yet, right? But it's really more about you finding your best, most authentic way of you being able to communicate what's in here and in here so that you can reach your audience, so that you can move your audience, so that you can connect with them and motivate, inspire, kick their ass, tell them off, you know, whatever it happens to be. But get them to move, get them to do something. So they're all the things that I think that you shouldn't do and the things that you should do. The only other thing that I wanted to talk about was I was listening to the radio the other day while I was waiting for my kids to finish school, and I'm sitting in the school pickup line, and I was listening to the radio about influencers. And I wrote an article actually recently for Yahoo Finance on becoming Insta famous and this, that, and the other. And I think one of the things that I want you to be really discerning around is what actually happens and how it actually happens. So all those people out there that you see as influencers, they're not necessarily, and my husband had this question as well actually, they're not necessarily being paid for doing what it is that they're doing, or even being paid necessarily. Some of them who have got really big accounts might be, but they're not necessarily being paid to go and do things. They're being given free stuff. So they might get given a free pair of bathers, for instance, that they have to go and take 25 photos on a beach, frolicking on a beach in. Maybe it's about the conversation yesterday was about how this guy was putting up stories and posts of the dog groomers, and therefore he like looking at anywhere between 10 posts for $70. So or maybe it was 7 posts for a $70 dog wash or something like that. So he's getting like the misconception is that he's getting paid $10 a post. Well, no, he's getting given a service in exchange for that, which isn't actually really costing the person that much money. So just be aware of the way that you're kind of looking at things and what you're making it mean. And I think the big thing that we always want to be mindful of is how have we got control? I don't want to be at the mercy of somebody saying, oh, if you wear this, I'll give it to you for free. Or if you do, particularly if I'm not an advocate for it, if you go and do this, or if you place this product somewhere, then we'll give you this, that, and the other for free, or we'll pay you for it. I think the other thing with that is that it can be very deceiving for the normal people or the muggles that are not influencers or who are not Insta famous and stuff like that. It can make it look like they've got all of this stuff going on. I know people who have got 150,000, 200,000 followers and are not making any money. They might get free dog walking, they might get free bathers, but it's not paying the bills. So just be aware of that. And instead look at going, all right, well, how can I build my audience and how can I leverage it financially while being paid for something versus building an audience and hoping that someone's going to discover you or that you're going to get free stuff as a result of it. So that's my rant for today. So happy Friday! It's been quite a week. I hope you're celebrating all of the amazing and awesome things. I'm celebrating you guys. I am absolutely celebrating Bold. Like I said, the pre-work went live last night actually, and it was a ton of fun and really powerful, really, really powerful for the people who are in there. If you think that you need to be in there, then get on in. We start in a week's time. So the sooner you start, the longer you get in terms of support and things like that. So boldly put yourself out there like no one has before. All right, my name's Nicola. Remember to get out there, go help some people, have a whole lot of fun doing it, be visible, and I'll talk to you on Monday. Have an amazing weekend. Take care. Talk to you soon.